Yo, what's going on, all you good looking people of the YouTube? I appreciate you joining me for yet again another video. For today's video, I decided let me hop on that social media act of kindness bandwagon. I've been seeing all these other creators out there offering up their services for free. Pressure washing driveways, mowing lawns, trimming bushes. Hell, I saw this one dude doing somebody's laundry all in the name of social media humanity. So I decided let me get with the program. And today, I was driving through a community. I came across this house. It was looking like it was in need of some love. There was a boat outside, and I knew I could at least take care of the boat. The gentleman happened to be outside too, so when I spoke to him, he cried, "God bless America, thank you, please do my boat for free." So I got all my equipment ready, and I went to work. First things first though, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and hit them thumbs up, as that makes the YouTube world go round, I think. And drop me a comment if you feel like it. And without further ado, let's get into this 21-foot Cobia detail. As far as this detail goes today, we're going to be doing an in and out with a heavy concentration on the exterior of the vessel, as it needed the most love. So we'll be doing a high speed out there, followed up with a nice polish to call it a day. First things first, so I started with the interior, popped open all the compartments, pulled everything out, threw everything into the lawn, and then we hit it with a heavy rinse down. We have to rinse all the doors, we have to rinse all the jams, we got to get inside all these compartments. Now some of them had blood, fish guts, leftover water bottles, toy particles. I found a nasty condom in there. It was disgusting. I don't even know what was going on in this boat, but it had to be something crazy. I found wine bottles. I found cigar scraps. And I ain't talking about, I found a couple empty. I'm talking about there was literally tobacco all over the floor and all over the console area and all over just everywhere. Like, people were just, I don't know if they were like, cigars were breaking and they were just like falling everywhere, or I don't know what was going on. It was literally like they were dumping out the interior of the cigar all over the boat. But anyway, I had to take care of all that. So the boat got a heavy rinse down to start with. We had to get all the dirt and grime off the floor, off of the console, and off of this American flag piece that I happened to hydro dip for this particular client. And then after all that was done, we went in to a heavy foam down. Now, I love my foam cannon when I'm using it on a vehicle, but when I get down with it on a boat, there's something about it that's just amazing. It really coats the boat well. It gets into every crack and crevice, and once you got a nice thorough coat on with the foam cannon, you can get to work with your brush or your mitts, or however you go about cleaning a boat. I particularly like to use a brush on a stick so I can get to all the highs and lows, and if I need to get into any spot that's a crack or a crevice, then I'm going to break out a microfiber that's dipped in some soap, and I'm going to give that area a little love as well. Now, after I got the interior nice and foamy and scrubbed down, we had to come back through with another heavy rinse down to get all the soap out the interior of the boat. And that was just lovely watching all of it just go out the drain in the finale. It was a great part for me. It made me feel good inside, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, after the interior was done, I left some stuff open. I had to let it dry out in there. I did do a little bit of drying with the Sham Wow and a blower, and I left the compartments open so they could do their thing. On the exterior, we had to give it a heavy rinse down. It had a lot of saltwater residue, as my man right here is out in Florida all the time catching them big fish. And actually, while I was out here working on this boat, the gentleman came outside and he was telling me about his just recent fishing adventure where he caught 2 mermaids and 4 red snapper. He said he had to throw most of them back because none of it was smelling right, or it was too big for regulations around Florida. I don't know. Anyway, it was a long story. I was working. It was cold. I could barely hear him. He was talking about mermaids and red snapper. I just couldn't even stand the conversation. Let's get back to the detail. If you're ever doing a boat, I recommend you do this right here, if even just for funsies. A thorough rinse down, like I said, on the exterior is what I started with. I had to make sure that I got all the salt, all the dirt, all the grime, all the bugs, all the mermaid juice off the side, off the bottom, off of every bit of the exterior portion of the boat, because that's where most of our detail work was going to happen today. It's all about the prep work, folks. Anybody that knows anything, that does anything, it's all about the prep work. If you don't prep your job, whatever it is you're doing correctly, then you're either going to make your job extra hard for yourself, or you're going to make your job not come out right. So by all means, whenever you're doing anything, prep it correctly. Me, throw a rinse down, came back in with a heavy froth down with my foam cannon, and I told y'all I love this foam cannon. Look at it, lay on the soap. As far as the soap in my foam cannon, I'm using the exact same soap that I use on washing cars, trucks, motorcycles. Sometimes my friend has me come out and clean his grandma's mobility machine. Same soap. Put it in the foam cannon and let it go to town. It's perfectly balanced for the job. If you're wondering if you needed a special soap for the boat, you really don't. I could have technically used a foam and hand soap in my cannon if I wanted to, especially since I'm coming back and I'm going to be polishing the boat out. It really doesn't matter the soap I'm using, if it's going to strip off any of the protectant that's on the boat, because I'm going to put protectant right back on the boat. And usually when you're using soaps, that's kind of what you want to think about. You don't want anything that's too heavy of a degreaser. You don't want to wash all your protectant off of whatever you're cleaning, your boat, your car, your motorcycle, whatever. So that's why you get a specially formulated soap for the vehicle itself. And I still see people washing their car with dish soap. It's not a big deal. But these car wash soaps that you go to the store and buy, or you order online or whatever, that are specially formulated for a vehicle, they often come in with nice polishers or some type of protectant kind of in the mix. And so when you put it on your car and you wash your car comes out super shiny, and it has a little bit of a protectant on it as you wash. So these car wash soaps, or these boat soaps or whatever that they specially formulate, they're not a joke. They're actually the real deal, and there is a reason behind them. Kind of like if you've ever been to one of the drive-through car washes where you just kind of pull up, press the button, throw your money in, and then it does it for you. And they always ask you, do you want that spray wax option? I tell all my customers, if you're going to go through there, go ahead and hit that extra $3 and get that spray wax, because it's actually a really good additive in along with the wash to help shine your car up a little bit more and protect it a little bit more. It's not going to last forever, but it's going to do a decent job for a week or so. Back to the matter at hand is this 21-foot Cobia detail, and as you can see here, I am scrubbing down the rims and tires. Why am I cleaning the trailer? Well, because the boat is sitting on the trailer, and therefore, in my mind, it is part of the detail job today. So I make sure to hit every bit of this boat and trailer that I can. Am I going to wax the trailer? Hell no, that's just ignorant, but I am going to get it nice and spiffy. All right, and now that we've got all the shark blood off the outside of the boat, we can get down to the reason we came out, the nitty-gritty of the detail today. We need to get a polish onto this boat. Now, my boy was complaining his boat was not shining properly. It had some scuffs, some scratches, and some water stains he wanted to get off there. So I knew exactly what product I wanted to bring out to make the boat look lovely again at not a crazy high dollar to my buddy. And if you didn't know by now, I did not pull up through some random neighborhood and offer to shine up somebody's gotta be over $80,000 boat for free. I am not silly. I would not help out the already helped, if you know what I'm saying. They will have to pay me at a nice premium. That being said, I decided today I was going to go with a Meguiar's one-step compound, because it is an amazing product at what I needed to get done today. It's going to remove any oxidation, any tough water spots. It takes out scuffs, scratches, mermaid blood. It also just helps enhance and restore neglected surfaces and creates an amazing shine that's just going to look lovely out there on the ocean, rivers, lakes, or canals of Florida. Speaking of all the alligator and shark infested waters of Florida that we live in, you ever get on a job or somewhere and you just like, oh my Lord, I got to use the bathroom. That's how it is when I'm out here mobile detailing, especially when I'm on a long job. And I always keep the deck on hand so I can find a spot. And luckily today, I passed this place on the way in, and it was like a 3-minute skate down a hill and a 5-minute skate back up a hill, and I was good to go and back to the grind. Now, when we're talking application of this one-step compound, you can use it by hand or you can use it by machine. Me, I'm going to use my machine with this green pad at about a 3-4 speed back and forth, depending on what spots I'm working on. But if you put it on by hand, it might take you, I don't know, I feel like 6 or 7 days to get the same effect that I'm going to get with my machine here. I think with my machine doing the high-speed polish out, and then I came back in with a finishing polish, all in all, I probably had about 2 hours into the job. Like I told y'all earlier, it's all in the prep work. As far as I'm concerned, at least, if you do a good prep job, it's going to make each stage as you go easier and easier to accomplish, reducing the time and the effort you have to put into accomplishing whatever task you're working on at that time. For the most part with this boat today, it was basically just lightly dull. It just needed a nice spruce up for the most part. It did have a few scratches on there and a few scuff marks that I was able to get out with the one-step compound. But there was also some scratches that don't come out with what I'm doing here. But that's just all in picking and choosing is how far you're going to go with what the customer's willing to pay and with, you know, the service you're willing to provide for that cost. And unfortunately, as a detailer, and I know if you're watching this and you're a detailer, you know it's a very thin line as to where you're going to stop, because you just don't want to stop. You want to keep going and you want to do the best of your abilities, that the best of your knowledge, the best that you know you can provide to make the boat look just amazing in the way that you want it to look. But you got to know when to draw the line and stop. As hard as it is, you got to stop the addiction, jump off the wagon, and either tell the customer, pay more, or this is all you get. So at this point, I'm finished with the high-speed polishing using the one-step compound, which is designed to both clean the gel coat surface and leave behind a nice high-gloss finish. But I'm not through yet. I want to throw on an additional polish. Not only do I feel like I want to throw on an additional polish, but if you get into the directions further and further down the bottle of the one-step compound, it recommends for best results that you come through with an additional product that they also recommend. So at this point of the detail, I'm going to come back through using the exact same machine I used to apply the one-step, and I'm just going to bump up the speed ever so slightly, and I'm going to move down the boat with a Meguiar's finishing product, and I'm going to lay it on the boat. Now this stuff you can let sit for a little bit, haze over, and then you come back through and you buff it off with your microfiber cloth. And it took me about, I don't know, probably 15 minutes to get this on all around each side of the boat. And what it does is it just enhances the finishing polish that's in the one-step compound, so you're left with just a nice brilliant shine, and it leaves you feeling like you did a great job, knowing that you did a great job, and it leaves your customer very satisfied when they come out to see their boat, or they pull up to see their boat and they're like, what did you do? Bring me a new boat? That's always the quote that I like to hear. Anyway, so I laid on this finishing polish. The boat came out lovely, and the end results speak for themselves. And here we are, good people of the YouTube, at the end of the detail and at the end of the day. I don't even really know what to tell y'all at the end of this chapter. First of all, I guess I'm going to say I appreciate you. If you're here and you've bared with my verbal nonsense for the past 13 or so minutes, I truly appreciate you. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I would also appreciate you to drop them in the comment box, and I'll do my best to get back to you. Hit them thumbs up. I think they make the YouTube world go round, and they help YouTube realize that this guy is not a half bad creator, and he can entertain the people, and therefore they might, help a boy out a little bit. I'm trying to buy my wife something nice next month. Anyway, like and subscribe to the video and the channel if you haven't already. I appreciate you totally, truly. And I hope you have a stellar day. Come back and check me out next time and see what I get into.